Hi everyone, good evening. Welcome to Stories in the Shadow, where behind every whisper is a scream. If this is your first time, go ahead to like and subscribe, comment and share. Also tell us your opinion in the comment section. Also send us your stories from Africa or around the world if you have a story of any kind you would like to share or tell the world. Because every story needs to be heard. Send us a mail at storiesintheshadow@gmail.com. Now let's dive in. So today we'll be talking about marshalling hits, the rise and fall of Théoneste Bagosora. Firstly, let's talk about the rise of a military hardliner. Théoneste Bagosora was born in Terres, southern Rwanda in 1941. Théoneste Bagosora came of age in Rwanda shaped by colonial scars and deepening ethnic divides between the Hutu majority and Tutsi minority. Trained as a military officer, he was amongst the early wave of Rwandans to rise through the National Army after independence. Bagosora's career was marked by staunch Hutu nationalist ideology. In the Rwandan Armed Forces FAR, he ascended through loyalty and a no-nonsense style. Eventually, he was appointed Director of Cabinet in the Ministry of Defense, a powerful but behind-the-scenes role that would later place him at the very core of genocide's planning. By the early 1990s, Rwanda was under pressure. A civil war with the Tutsis, Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, economic crisis and international pressure to democratize. For men like Bagosora, these changes signal a threat to the Hutus' power. In 1993, when peace negotiation was going on between the Hutu government and the RPF, which is the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, were underway in Arusha, Tanzania. Bagosora attended as a government delegate. During the tense talks, he reportedly muttered that he was returning to Rwanda to prepare for apocalypse, a haunting face but a prophecy fulfilled. The breaking point came in April of 1994, which is power through chaos. The night of April 6, 1994 was Rwanda's darkest turning point, as President Juvenal Habyarimana's plane was shot down over Kigali, killing him and the president of Burundi. Within hours of assassination, the country was leaderless. Now, we don't have a specific information about what brought down President Juvenal's plane, killing him and the president of Burundi, or what killed the prime ministers. Due to research, we found so many options that gives us a little idea to what could probably have caused this to happen. The Rwandan Patriotic Front, which is the RPF, some theories, particularly from French investigations, implicated that the RPF, led by Paul Kagame, in the shooting down of the plane carrying President Habyarimana, initiated the genocide. This theory suggests that RPF saw Habyarimana's death as a way to seize power. Or we have another theory, which is Hutu power / Habyarimana's inner circle, the Akazo. Now, other theories include some Rwandan government reports to Hutu extremists, elements within Habyarimana's own regime as being responsible for the assassination, potentially as a coup attempt. Now, this group known as Hutu power may have feared Habyarimana's perceived moderation and the Arusha peace process. Some also implicate Habyarimana's wife and her inner circle, the Akazo. The third theory we also have is which is other theories and lack of definitive proof. The exact perpetrators remain a subject of debate, and investigations are still going on with no definitive proof currently available. Different investigations and reports have reached conflicting conclusions. Now, it's left for you to decide who you think could be responsible for the death of President Juvenal and the president of Burundi. Now, back to the story. But Bagosora, now the highest ranking defense ministry official standing, moved swiftly to fill in the vacuum. He chaired the crisis committee and began issuing orders that could set the countries on fire. He also refused to let civilian leaders assume power, and he was an instrument in forming a provisional military government. What began as an emergency management turned into orchestrated extermination. Execution of genocide, the apocalypse began. Now, by April 7th, death lists were activated. President's guards, inter-Hamwe militias, and army units unleashed a campaign of house-to-house massacre. Moderate Hutus were killed to eliminate oppositions. Then Tutsis, men, women, children, entire families were hunted with machetes, rifles, and grenades. But Bagosora's role wasn't always direct, but his fingertips were everywhere. He controlled the flow of weapons, he facilitated the coordination of militias, he blocked efforts to install lawful government. He allegedly gave orders to the President Guard that led to the assassination of 10 Belgian UN peacekeepers, forcing a massive international withdrawal. Now, United Nations forces were crippled. Journalists were few. Rwanda became a prison of death. In 100 days, over 800,000 people were slaughtered. The world watched and failed to act. Now, we're also talking about the exile of President Bagosora. When the Rwandan Patriotic Front, RPF, led by Paul Kagame, defeated the government forces in July 1994, Bagosora fled. He escaped into Zaire, now the DRC, blended in with the collapsing refugee camps, filled with genocidal and civilians alike. Later, he vanished into Cameroon, where he would hide for several years. During this time, Bagosora maintained his innocence. In interviews, he portrayed himself as a scapegoat, a loyal soldier who has been wrongly blamed for political decisions beyond his control. Now, due to what Bagosora said, that he was coming back to Rwanda to create an apocalypse, do you think that he was being used, or he really came back to fulfill his prophecy? Now, Rwanda and the world did not forget what Bagosora did. Now, his judgment came in 1996. Bagosora was arrested in Cameroon and extradited to face trial at the International Criminal Tribunal for Rwanda, which is the ICTR in Arusha, Tanzania. It was one of the most significant genocide trials since Nuremberg. He was charged with genocide, crime against humanity, war crimes. Prosecutors labeled him the mastermind of genocide, the man who pulled the strings in the shadow while the world crumbled. Now, in 2008, after a marathon trial that spanned years and dozens of witnesses, Bagosora was found guilty of genocide and extermination and murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, later induced to 35 years on appeal in 2011. He died in prison in Mali in 2021, unrepented to the very end, meaning he wasn't sorry for anything he did. In fact, he didn't see what he did as a crime. He felt he was innocent and everything was just, he was being blamed wrongfully. Now, I don't know, do you think Bagosora actually paid for his crimes, or he got away with it? Now, his legacy's reflection. Don't forget, this caution was etched in blood. Théoneste Bagosora's legacy is one of the monstrous planning in a quiet hall of genocide, not born from spontaneous rage, but from cold bureaucracy and hateful ideology. Because Bagosora came from a good home, he had a good life, he had a good upbringing. So there is nothing from his background that gives a reason for him to, come up and be the evil leader he became. So the thing is, well, it is left for you to decide if it was from his upbringing, or so. Now, he became a symbol of the danger of unchecked power, the fragility of peace, the deadly consequence of ethnic hate. Now, for survivors, Bagosora represents not just a man, but a machine, the face of an entire system that turned neighbors into executioners. For Rwanda, his fall marked a turning point. The country will rise again, but haunted by the scars of his action. And for the world, the failure to stop Bagosora is a reminder that silence is, complicity. Bagosora never pulled a machete. He did not light the first match, but he built the fire, fed the rage, and stood in silence as a nation burned. In the end, it wasn't the chaos that broke him, it was justice. And while the dead cannot speak, their silence tells us everything. Now, thank you for watching. Hope to see you again next time. Bye.